Hey, what's up guys? This is Trav. On this video I want to talk about perimeters on PlayStation. Okay? I want to give you an update on the one I've been working on and discuss a few things about it. See if I can kind of garner any interest now and gauge what kind of interest you guys have in these kind of things. So this is kind of like a second update on the perimeter I've been working on for the witch farm and a couple other things. So I want to give you a little bit of a progress update. At this point, I've ran 2 diggers all the way across the 300 by 300 perimeter, and I'm still kind of clearing liquids to run a final one. At any rate, what I would like to start off with is talk about why. Okay, why build a perimeter? So the number one reason. The main reason to build a perimeter is to manipulate the spawning algorithm. Control the spawns, okay, of mobs. And what I mean by that is if you don't know, from anywhere you stand, in a sphere around you, 128 blocks on all sides, in a big old sphere around you, that's where all the hostiles are going to spawn. Beyond that, they despawn. So by creating a perimeter, a 300 by 300, or at least one with a radius of 128, then I can prevent all spawning on my world. And I have to put a spawn-proof floor, be it glass or slime blocks or half slabs, a spawn-proof floor. So the reason I do that is in that way I can control where all the spawning is going to take place. So if I were to build a witch farm here, which I plan on doing, and that means the only spawning platforms that are going to be there are the ones I put there to allow witches to spawn. So then the game is going to prioritize those platforms and put all the witches on them. Okay, so it's going to increase my rates to their optimum. And also if I were to have any other kind of spawning algorithm for overworld mobs or whatnot, I can control every single spawning platform, every square that allows spawning. I can do that within a perimeter. If I were to build, a general mob farm, in the middle of anywhere on the map, not in a perimeter, then I have to go around to improve its effectiveness. I need to go around and prevent spawning everywhere else. And one way of doing that is to go light up all the caves. That's a traditional way, is go light up all the caves around you and just do the best you can to do that. Alright, it's very hard to do that and not miss something. So this eliminates the need to do that. The second reason for doing this is that it improves performance. Okay, if I were to, build a farm of sorts, whether it be a tree farm, a resource farm, or even a mob farm in the overworld, without having a perimeter, then the game is going to have to load all the entities around me. And that's going to hurt performance. But if I do it in a perimeter, then none of that stuff, there's no entities that need to be rendered other than what's in your farm. So it's going to boost the performance by minimizing what your game is processing. So it's going to improve performance. So that being said, not only do I plan on putting a witch farm here, but I plan on bringing some of my other resource farms over, like a wood farm, maybe a slime farm, some of the other farms that, put quite a load on my console I could bring over here and hopefully get a little bit better performance and then get them away from my main base. So those are some of the reasons why. As to how... Well, I tell you what, if you guys are interested in learning more about a detailed process of how to do this on a PlayStation, let me know in a comment below, and then I'll break it down into multiple videos. I'm gonna have to get some more rockets. I'll break it down into multiple videos, and we'll talk about how to do this. Okay? And part of the reason I did this is I wanted to show that. Where's all my rockets? I wanted to show that it is possible to build perimeters through automation on console. Okay? It's entirely possible. And you can do it by yourself. So part of the big reason for me to do this was to not only prove that you can do it on your own, but also that you can automate it. I couldn't imagine how long this would take to do by hand. Not interested in that. To give you kind of a rough idea of doing this kind of the way I did it, through going and clearing the swamp and building the diggers and then letting everything run, it's probably going to be about 80, 100 hours, somewhere in that neighborhood. Now on the PC, on Java Edition, some of the best engineers can do this in about 15 hours. 15, 20 hours is a good time. Some of them have done it less, but that's a good time to do that. However, the mechanism in which they could dig their perimeter is much more advanced than we can do on console, and I'll talk more about that probably in future videos. Okay, we are just unable to replicate the means in which they do that. And the biggest time sink for us is that we have to manually, at least as far as I'm concerned, we have to manually remove all the liquids, and that takes a huge amount of time. As you see, that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm starting to remove all these liquids to run the last digger through to kind of clean this up. Kind of lost my train of thought here, but the other thing I wanted to get across is that for me, as someone who's more interested in the systems engineering of Minecraft than the creative building, this isn't just for the sake of doing it. It provides its own benefit in the act of doing it. What I mean by that is I enjoy the fact that by doing this, I've created opportunities for me to learn about the game. I presented problems on how to automate this, all the issues I ran into along the way, and that gave me opportunities to learn and come up with solutions, and that's what I really enjoy about the game, to try to come up with solutions to some of the problems this game presents, especially on a technical standpoint. And then now that I'm almost done, then I have other things that I can tackle, like a wall builder, maybe a floor builder, different things that I didn't have the opportunity to if I wouldn't have dug this. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons for it. I know some people might think that it's just a waste of time, and I understand where they're coming from. I don't agree, but I understand where they're coming from. But anyway, I kind of wanted to give you guys an update. As far as work left to do, there's the last digger is going to take about 30 hours to get across. So I've got about 30 hours until this thing's pretty much done, and then I'm going to put the floor in, which is probably going to take about 10 hours maybe. I don't know. Well, actually probably less than that, probably half that. We'll find out. If you would like to see more details about how to do this on your own, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to gauge the response to see if it's worth the time for me to go through and break down all the steps of this, in separate videos, so that you guys can tackle this on your own. But I wanted to give you guys an update. You deserved an update. It's been quite a process. I hope you guys find this stuff interesting. I certainly do. I look forward to talking to you guys more in the future with how this was done. But if you have questions, leave them below in the comments. If you would like to know more, let me know. Please like, subscribe for future PlayStation Minecraft content. With that, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you all soon.